Welcome back. Episode 3 of Parlays and Paddles. I'm one of your hosts, Alec. Some call me Big Al, some call me Hof. And I'm here with a best friend and co-host, Matty Kush. Say what up, Matty.
How we doing, everyone? Happy to be here.
Oh, man. Monday night. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Got a good arm day in today.
Nice.
Going to see Project Hail Mary tonight. The fiance took me to lunch. She paid, so shout out her.
Ooh, little sugar mama action. I love that.
Shout out her.
I love when the girl pays a little bit.
I do have a confession to make.
Hit me.
I broke keto.
Oh, that's okay. For those that don't know, me and Matt have both been on a keto diet.
Yeah.
We've been trying to slim down for our wedding, but hey, that's okay. I was actually going to tell you, I've been thinking about quitting keto as of like last night for various reasons, but I'll let you go into it.
Yeah, there's really nothing like super special. I think I'm just kind of over it. I'm still going to go with the low carb diet, but I don't think keto long term is really great for your body.
No, it's not. I've always read that it's like a 2 to 3 month thing, and then like your brain does need carbs. So after that, like I've done it before in the past, and like sometimes it can make you irritable. It can make thinking a little foggy.
Well, and we talked about it when we were working out last. I feel weaker. Like I feel like I'm losing muscle mass, and I don't really want that.
Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, every time that we lift, I come up with some excuse. Oh, I didn't sleep well. Oh, I haven't hydrated enough.
Like really, you're just missing carbs.
I'm missing carbs, and I just have low energy. I think there's obviously ways that you can, still lose weight and just have a little bit more energy. And I think you get better lifts out of that, which is kind of what we're trying to do anyways. So
yeah,
I don't blame you. No judgment. I've been thinking about it. Still want to be low carb. Still want to stay away from the processed sugars as best as I can.
For sure. We're still going to slim down for the weddings. But yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to go.
What did you
back.
break keto on?
At lunch today.
What'd you have?
It was a fantastic sandwich.
Where'd you go? What'd you have?
So we went to this place called Courtyard something.
And you didn't call me?
In Castle Rock.
I'm just kidding.
It was a date day, dude.
Could be a bro date too.
It was in Castle Rock, and they had an everything bagel sandwich, but it's a Reuben sandwich.
Oh,
so
God.
an everything bagel, but a Reuben. And it was fantastic.
Wow.
Like after not having carbs for 2 months, I think I'm 2 months and you're about 2.5.
Yeah, it's been since the second day of this year for me. So
and I think I was 2 weeks after you.
Just about 3 months for me.
So
has your stomach been upset?
I'm a little bit worried about that.
It might come later.
Yeah, it's still a little bit early because I think I was eating probably 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I am a little bit worried about it, but it is what it is.
Okay,
I didn't exactly like lean back or like weaned back into it. I kind of just went for it.
Yeah, whenever I wean back into it, I usually start with like fruits and stuff. Maybe something a little bit easier on the stomach.
Not a bagel Reuben sandwich with fries.
Big old bread and potatoes there. But dude, I'm so jealous.
It was fantastic. Again, after not having carbs for 2 months, like that first bite was like, oh my gosh.
And now you can enjoy a beer again.
Yeah, I had 2 sour beers at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Couple lunch beers.
Hey,
fantastic.
No, I'm glad to hear that, though. I mean,
it was fun.
It works for a little bit, and then you got to change it up if you're not, if you plateau or you're just not feeling great like we haven't been. So
yeah,
I'm right behind you. I think I'm gonna at least incorporate some like rice and some simple carbs into my diet again.
I miss white rice so much. And that's honestly one of the number one things that I'm excited to eat. I'm excited for the movie too. If you haven't seen this movie yet, getting great reviews. One of my favorite books, Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. I've heard big talk about it though.
Written by the same author as The Martian.
Okay.
So really good book. Highly recommend it.
Was The Martian also a movie?
Yeah. That's the one with Matt Damon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie either, for the record.
Oof, man. Come on. Do
There's
yourself a favor.
There's a running joke at my work where they list movie references and then they go, Alec, that was, a movie back in early 2000s. And they they rag on me for not knowing anything. So
do yourself a favor. The Martian's a good one, and I'm excited for this one. Yeah, it should be good. We're seeing IMAX at 9 p.m. tonight.
Where's that at?
The AMC crossing, so up down Parker.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
just you two?
Just us two. Yep, just us two.
Nice.
Little date
dude.
night. Little date night.
Little movie date.
Yeah.
Nothing better than that.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm tired. Work was busy as usual. We're just in a busy season. I feel like everyone that I've talked to about work, whether it's my fiance or my future father-in-law or a couple buddies. Like, I don't know if that's just normal for spring. I think a little bit is with new projects, new initiatives going on, and everyone's trying to still map out and capitalize on what's coming for the year.
Yeah, Mondays are always busy too.
And Mondays are busy too. So I'm tired. My neck hurts. I've been cracking my neck a lot recently, and it like feels good in the moment, but then hurts for a while. And I also didn't sleep very well last night. I was telling you that we have a neighbor's dog that's been just barking all night long, keeping me and Angie up. So it's whatever.
We got a note written out to
the neighbors. Yeah, we're the Karen neighbors writing a note. Yep. And now my dog's barking downstairs as well. So it's
you guys can't hear that. But
pretty fitting.
We won't get distracted here.
But I'm good. I've been looking forward to the podcast. I think today's going to be our best out of the 3 so far. We got some good topics planned. A little bit of, similar structure to before. We're going to talk a little bit of March Madness and talk a little bit of fishing, everything else in between. But it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. And I think we're going to get some good socials out of these too. So
let's get it.
Yeah. Let's talk Sweet 16 and Elite 8 recap. We don't need to go through every game. I think the biggest, it's not an announcement, but topics of discussion is that our team has fallen. We've been riding Arkansas pretty hard. We've been riding Darius Acuff pretty hard, and they just looked terrible against a bigger, better Arizona team.
Yeah, Arizona looked very dominant. I mean, it's fun while it lasts, I
thought they had a chance. I really did.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to pick a 1 seed.
I agree.
Or even maybe even a 2 seed to win. Like, I'm the type of guy that's like, I'll have 10 bad years of brackets, and then I'm gonna have 1 year where I pick that like kind of crazy underdog.
Well, and it's
pick.
like that dark horse. We're a fan of the dark horse. Mm-hmm. Darius Acuff had a great tournament. I mean, even in the game against Arizona, he put up some points. He was the only one getting fouled. I will say, I'm not going to blame the refs. I'm not going to do that. No sob story. But when Arizona or when Arkansas had 10 plus fouls and Arizona only had 2, I was like, that's a little sus.
Yeah.
That said, it is what it is. Yeah, like Arizona was the better team. There's no doubt about that.
And I kind of saw it coming. I just was hoping for our March Madness moment where, the underdog wins. But I'm staying true to my statement I think I made last week and possibly even the week before, where the winner of that game wins it all. And obviously Arkansas didn't win, but that's to say that I think Arizona now wins it all.
So we're on the Arizona bandwagon a little bit.
Yeah.
We did have a March Madness moment last night.
We did.
Probably the biggest story right now in the tournament. I know we led with Arkansas because we've been high on it, but that UConn-Duke game was absolutely incredible. I thought they were done. We were watching the first half together.
Yeah, they were up by 19 at one point.
I left. You were like, if it was a better game, I'd tell you to stay. Decided to head out, turn the game on when I got home. They just kept chipping away, man.
Yeah. I remember checking the score. I went over to my future father-in-law's place for dinner last night, and I remember checking the score. There was still like 5 or 6 minutes left, and they still had like either a 12 or a 14-point lead, and I felt good. I had a cash-out option of still pretty damn high, still for profit, of course, and I was like, no way. Like, I think Duke's going to cover. I did not watch the end of it, but
the end was crazy, man.
I shocked myself and everyone at the table when I said UConn won.
Well, and all Duke had to do was hold the ball. They couldn't even get a 10-second violation once they passed it in. There was only 10 seconds left on the clock. They could have just held the ball. There was nobody guarding Duke on the other side of the court. The guy tries to pass it. Somehow those guys got their hands in the mix.
Well, tell me this. Do you know which way the possession arrow was going? Because I think he had to dribble the ball. Because if he got trapped and it went to a jump ball, would it have gone back to UConn?
So I think that the time, like the clock was on Duke's side. Like, by the time that guy who passed the ball and ended up getting...
It was Boozer.
Boozer.
Yeah.
By the time Boozer passed the ball, he could have literally held it for 5 seconds, and the game would have been over. So it would have... Like, that is a rule.
But what if they got the jump ball?
It would have game over.
What do you mean?
Not enough time on the clock.
Really?
Yeah, like
there wouldn't have been a time stoppage, and it wouldn't have gone to whoever the possession error was?
No, UConn got the ball after Boozer passed it. UConn got the ball with like 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
So it would have gone down 2-0 if he would have just held it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the time that it would have taken the refs to call the jump ball, it would have already expired.
Exactly. Saying. Yeah, that's what I think is happening. But somehow those guys got their hands on it. They get the ball back. Their big man, I can't remember his name, starts with a K, has it, passes it back to the guy who was
who made the block, right?
Yeah, and then a logo 3 to win it. 0.3 seconds left.
And I don't know if you've seen this clip circulating, but earlier this year, I think it was March 6th, Duke basketball posted something on social media where they went over a scenario just like this, where they were watching, they're studying NBA film, and a very similar situation where they had to burn X amount of seconds left, and it was a very close game. And they were showing the coach, explain why the NBA team did this. And the player on the NBA team got the ball inbounded and threw it as high as they could in the air, just because the time it would take for that ball to pretty much touch the ceiling and come back down would waste another 3-4 seconds.
That's interesting.
And then say your team might get the ball back after that, even though they may have caught the ball, or even if the other team gets it, they're in a weird place on the court. They did not see that coming. Just adds a little more chaos. So
that's interesting. They definitely didn't.
They
try
went
that.
over that. They went over that, and it's funny. I don't blame Boozer. I mean, they came back from a 19-point lead, so that's not a Boozer moment. I hope people don't blame Boozer too much.
No.
Obviously, everybody, tensions are high, adrenaline's running.
Well,
yeah,
and you could see the coach telling Boozer to pass the ball down the court because, again, there was no UConn defenders on Duke.
Right
down the court. So if they pass the ball, the game's over.
Yeah,
they just somehow got a hand on it, and
I've seen some, some comments being like, why were all the Duke players so far down court? Like he could have had a better option to pass to,
maybe
needing to pass.
Yeah,
right?
maybe. Yeah.
He could have dribbled. He ended up making a mistake.
Just an awesome play by UConn. Just an awesome play by them.
And they're saying that shot is now like in the ranks of best March Madness moments of all time.
Top 5 all time.
Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, it's a logo 3 to send them to the Final Four. Like that's just.
It's definitely going to be remembered for forever. Like when you look back on greatest March Madness moments, that's going to be in the compilation.
And we did have some unit or so on Duke to cover. Yeah. So that's a bummer for us, obviously, but. God, I love watching Duke lose.
Well,
I love watching.
I
Duke
like
lose
watching
so
UConn
much.
lose, so I was disappointed. I love seeing a furious Dan Hurley. I think he's like a psychopath.
Well, you're from that area too, so
yeah, kinda. Although I didn't have ties to UConn when I lived back home in the Northeast. But
why do you hate UConn so much?
I hate UConn so much because not only did they win back to back, but the first year that they won, I think it was 2022. They beat San Diego State University in the championship game, which I had picked SDSU as a dark horse like back in like December or something, convinced you to put $20 on them as a future, and the future would have paid like 4 G's.
Yeah, $20 to win like $4,000.
Everyone laughed at me for that pick, for that, for them to make it to the final, past the Final Four, the championship game, whatever. They made it there. I got to, throw some middle fingers up to people. I told you so's. And then they got blown out by like 20.
Raced. Yeah, they boat raced by them. Did you see Dan Hurley after the shot?
Yeah,
he went up to the ref
and was like touching foreheads.
Yeah,
almost.
And people are saying that should have been a technical. I think technically it should have been.
It definitely should have been a technical. I just
could you imagine they call a technical on that with 0.3 seconds left and Duke wins because of 2 free throws and Dan Hurley
is the one
headbutting like the ref.
Yeah, your team makes the impossible shot, the impossible moment, and then he loses it for the team. I would have loved that.
That would have been.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been. Nuts.
Although I had Duke to cover, so I still would have lost my bet either way.
Yeah. Good for UConn. Good for UConn. Good for the rest of the Final Four. So we got Arizona, we got Michigan, we got UConn, and
Illinois.
Thank you.
And just going back to Sweet 16, I did call the Iowa over Nebraska upset.
You did.
Unfortunately, I mean, Iowa, they were slightly competitive in the Elite Eight game, but then, Illinois pulled away. So, not too sad to say that was unexpected to happen. But
good pick over Nebraska.
Yeah, good pick over Nebraska.
2-0 up here.
Yeah, 2-0 on the picks. We'll recap the picks here in a sec.
0-2 down here. Damn it.
It's okay. Don't worry. We got plenty of time. 50%, 51% makes you a good bettor, and we've still got a long way to 100.
I'm 0%, but
hey, it's again a long road to go to balance this out.
So what do you want to do? You want to do a pick recap first, or
yeah, let's let's talk about Final Four and championship game real quick, and then we'll go over picks.
Okay,
because our picks will cover pretty much what we're talking about.
Yeah, I was talking about more the recap from the last one. So like,
oh yeah, I had Iowa over Nebraska, which did hit. You had Houston over Illinois, which unfortunately didn't hit.
Did not. Houston did not look good. I think at halftime it was like 25-27 or something like that.
Yeah.
Super low scoring. Houston could not make a shot. I mean, shout out to Illinois. They were the better team, just hands down. They were the better team.
Yep. And then our parlay was you had
Michigan State
over UConn, which busted. I did have Tennessee over Iowa State, which hit, but obviously both got a hit for the parlay to hit, and we fell short there again too. So keep riding with us. We have highs and lows. Last week was not our week, but that's March Madness for you. A little bit more unpredictable.
Not really my tournament, frankly.
You slap in NFL though. I will say, hang with us till we're watching football again.
Football's better.
Both NFL and college, you usually do very well, and you've been maybe leaning on me a little bit more for this college basketball season, but I will be leaning on you probably a little bit more come NFL.
Yeah.
So
stick with us.
So yeah, we're 2-0 up here. Tail my picks.
Yeah, tail Al.
0-2 over here for Matty. 0-2 on the parlay.
And for the record, Santa Clara should have won, so that should be 1-1.
I don't disagree there. They did get the timeout off. So well, they didn't, but they should have.
Let's talk Final Four.
So Final Four, we got Michigan, Arizona, and of course we got UConn, Illinois. I'll just start out and say this, that I think the Michigan-Arizona game is the real championship game.
I agree.
I think both those teams are better than both the other teams on the other side of the Final Four.
I agree. And I can't wait for this game. It's going to be so good. They're two dominant forces meeting on the biggest stage in college basketball. I can't wait for it. It's going to be electric. Go ahead.
I mean, two big teams, right? In terms of size of players, I think both teams have won thus far, not only because of skill, but a lot due to size as well. Yeah. I think Arizona and Michigan, not only their bigs, but their smalls are bigger than the other teams. Bigs and smalls.
Your bigs are 7+ feet. Your smalls are up to 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah,
6'9".
you got Karchenkov on Arizona, who's 6'7". I think he's a small forward. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he plays like a guard. So it's like, I'm excited to see these two face off. I said this for Arizona, Arkansas, but I'll say it for here too. The winner of this game is going to win it all.
Okay.
So and I'm going to ride Arizona with that as well.
Yeah.
I think it could be a coin toss similar to in Iowa, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will come down to a final possession or two.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think a team's getting blown out.
I'm staying away from the spread. I'm going only money line. Who do I want to win this game, or who do I think is going to win this game?
Who do you think is going to win this game?
I'm also going to go Arizona. I will ride you, mainly because you're hot 2-0 over here.
Yep.
So I like Arizona a lot. I think Michigan's super talented. Like you said, it's going to be in Iowa, Nebraska. It's going to be a battle. But yeah, I got Arizona, and I like rooting for kind of the West Coast teams too.
And Michigan's like chippier than most teams, especially in their guard Cadell. He's very trash talky, and something just rubs me the wrong way about wicked chippy teams like that. So
fair enough, yeah.
Fair enough. I kind of hope for their downfall when a team gets too chippy and confident and cocky. Not confident, but cocky, and I kind of want to see them fall. So
yeah, I got Arizona. I'm riding with you.
Okay, how you think about UConn, Illinois?
I think this is going to be a good game too.
Okay.
I think Illinois is going to win. I'm going to go Illinois. I think UConn scraped by Duke. They have a lot of momentum going in. But Illinois looks really, really good against
they beat Houston.
One Houston, then Iowa, obviously. But I think Illinois looks good. Maybe putting my curse on them a little bit by picking them. But
should we all just fade Matty and then we'll start winning?
So if you want to win money, go UConn.
No, I think Duke was the better team, and UConn, obviously upset them. I don't think they do it twice. I don't think they get that moment twice, And Duke they're known for blown leads. They blew a huge lead to get knocked out of the tournament last year against Houston. I think it was like either a 12 or a 15-point lead they had up against Houston that knocked them out. So Duke's a little bit cursed in that aspect. It brings up the discussion: is it a coaching thing potentially, or is it just bad luck?
I think what's his name, John Shire or something. I think he's on the hot seat. I think he's definitely on the hot seat. I don't think he's getting fired this year. But if they have another run like they did this year and last year, where they get upset
and blow a big lead, I think he's definitely on the hot seat here. He's got maybe one more year to prove it.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you're gonna lose, you got to lose in a close game throughout, not a lead blow,
or make it to the Final Four at least.
Yeah, right. You got to progress a little bit further. So,
and then I think you and I both, the winner of the Arizona-Michigan game is going to win it all. We think it's going to be Arizona. So Arizona's our new team.
I could see UConn winning again, but I really don't think it's going to happen. I think their luck's going to run out. Dan Hurley and his lucky jacket, I think the luck's going to rub off a little bit, and I'm just going to go Illinois. I think they got a all-around better team. So
Arizona, Illinois, Arizona on top in the championship.
Yeah, that's who we're both liking, which will bring us to our picks of the week. My official pick of the week is Arizona over Michigan. Yours being?
I'm going to go Illinois, just to not do a head-to-head against you or anything.
Yeah.
Pick the same one. So.
And with limited games, that's going to lead to our parlay of the week being Arizona and Illinois together to meet up in the championship game.
Yep.
I would say put a future on Arizona, but it's
like plus 100.
I don't know what it is, but last time I looked, I think it was even before they won. It was like plus 185, so it's got to be something almost not worth betting at this point. Might as well just bet game to game at this point and maybe get a little bit more money that way.
Yep. All right.
So let's move on away from basketball.
Yeah. You guys, do you want to talk about meat of the week?
Yeah, let's talk about meat of the week.
Yes.
Tell them what you did.
Super successful first meat of the week. Now, I've been calling it meat of the week. I think the new name is going to be Kush Cooks. So it's still the meat of the week because
I'm still trying to convince you to go smoking Kush.
Yeah, that's got too much of a little.
That's the funny double entendre.
Smoking Kush Cooks, meat of the week. We're debating. It's a work in progress.
I like Kush Cooks.
Work in progress.
Spell it with a K though.
Yeah, KK. Actually, I think it's gonna be KC.
I know.
But whatever. It is what it is. Kush Cooks. It was very successful. So. What we did was a similar recipe or instruction video, whatever, that I've used in the past. Shout out Meat Church. Meat Church is the influencer that I followed for this one. They've been cooking briskets for decades.
Is it one guy or is it multiple guys?
It's multiple. I think it's multiple people, but it's one main guy.
Are they a company? Or are they a restaurant? Or are they just...
I think that they're
a group of people.
I think they're like a group, influencer group, but they literally, people travel across the country, even worldwide, they said, to like travel to their ranch and learn how to cook brisket. So they, teach this stuff. So shout out them, Meat Church. I am going to link the video that I used in the description when I post the social for this, which is coming soon. So know that it is still coming, just getting the finishing touches done.
Yep.
But that brisket was cooked on Saturday night into Sunday morning, and I brought it over to share with Al and his fiance. We think it's the best one yet. I've cooked 3. We think it's the best one out of the 3.
I agree. The main difference this time was it was definitely juicier. This is from the person eating it's perspective. Definitely juicier. And you definitely got that piece figured out where the bottom isn't as crusty, which I don't dislike the crust, but I don't think that was intentional in the first.
No, that was that happy mistake that we mentioned last week. I think I figured that out. It all depends on where you put the brisket in the smoker. But what I did was at 6:30 at night, 6:30 at night on Saturday, threw the brisket on the smoker.
Mm-hmm. Top shelf, right?
Top shelf. That was the difference. Top shelf. That's what made the bottom not so burnt, I guess, or like overcooked, I guess. And we let that smoke through the night at 200 degrees, super smoke on the Traeger. Next morning, I woke up, went to check on it. Everything was looking good. Turned the heat up to 275, wrapped it in butcher's paper, and threw it on there, and it smoked for another like 5 hours up until like noon.
And you're putting the beef tallow on
Yeah.
it?
Oh, thank you. We rendered the trimmings of the fat. We rendered that next to the meat overnight.
Okay.
Got a nice, good amount of beef tallow. So when I went to wrap it, I drizzled that beef tallow right over, wrapped it up, threw it back on. Like I said, it smoked at 275 for another like 5.5 hours.
I don't know anything about how these smokers work. Do you have to like restock with pellets in the morning, or like how does that work?
Yeah. So the Traeger app will tell me like what percent of pellets are left. So when I woke up in the morning, I think I had like 25% pellets left. You just go.
Oh, that's cool. Is it based on weight?
Yeah, and it's got sensors and stuff where you put the pellets in.
That's way cool.
But yeah, just went, restocked it. It took one bag of pellets for the whole smoke, which the smoke was a long time, like 6:30. I think it was like 16 hours.
Wow.
16 or 17
hours. Is that longer than normal?
Yeah, I think I would have started later. If you remember from last week, basically was saying start earlier than you think. You always and I feel like I was always
overcompensated
rushing.
A little bit this time.
Yeah, to where some of the thinner pieces were a little dry. Not a crazy, like it still tasted good.
I mean, I have no complaints, no notes on my end.
Yeah, it still tasted good, but I probably could have started around 8:30 or 9 as opposed to 6:30 because typically a brisket is like 10 to 12 hours.
Okay.
16 to 17 hours is a long time.
But you still hit the temps you needed to hit.
I hit the temps, the internal temp, 203. But yeah, I mean, I think it was successful. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. The girls always complain because the house smells like smoke every time I smoke a brisket, but they don't complain when they're eating it, so they can deal with it.
That's like, complaining about hearing rain when it's raining outside. Yeah. It's just going to happen.
Exactly.
Well,
so keep an eye out for the socials.
I was going to say, we took a pretty sweet video.
Yeah,
that first cut.
Definitely the last
that
cut.
Squeeze.
Yeah, the squeeze, yeah.
You had the juices dripping, and then Matty left a little chunk for me to enjoy as well. So
I did.
I've been nibbling on that today, and I'll finish it off tomorrow.
And yeah, so this week, like I said, that should be coming out maybe tomorrow. So this may even, the social may be out when this episode airs. Again, just finishing touches. But for this week, we're going to do wings. Nice. So we're going to smoke some wings. I got to look up a recipe. I got to look up somebody to follow along with. But it's I've done it before.
How do you keep the wings juicy when you smoke them?
So one, you're not doing it like for that long.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
It's more of like a 3 to 4 hour smoke.
Okay.
Other than that, though, it's a matter of temperature.
Do you cover them?
Yeah, I mean, you don't at first, and then you do. Like, I got to look up the recipe or look up, the steps that I want to do for it.
Yeah.
This week. But yeah, that's a way to do it. You can cover them. Obviously, you can like spritz them down with whatever, oil or whatever.
I remember last time you smoked wings, I think it was the first time you'd ever smoked wings. You weren't completely happy with yourself, whereas I still loved the wings.
Yeah, I think they were a little bit dry, if I remember correctly. So I am going to be going and finding some, whatever video I want to follow along with. And I'll
just step by step it.
Yeah, step by step it. And I'll remember what I did differently because I've only done this once. It was that one time that I had done it.
What do you think you did last time that made them a little more dry than you wanted?
Maybe it's just covering them. Maybe it's the rub that I used. I don't think they were terrible. Like when you bit into it, it wasn't like just dry chicken. But
okay.
I just think it could be better. I think it could be better.
And you got a certain seasoning you're going to put on them?
Yeah, we got some rubs. So a specific Traeger rub that's good for chicken.
Okay. Is that the same thing you put on the brisket or different?
No, different rubs.
It's chicken specific?
Yeah, chicken specific. I can't remember on the top of my head what the season is, but that will all be documented once I kind of get through this week. But I had a great time. Excited for the next The next one, excited to drop the first one too. Let you guys see what I did. And again, shout out Meat Church. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, maybe not for this round or even the wings, but going forward, you could do like a long form video on YouTube where it's like a pretty in depth process of how you are doing it, and then obviously we'll post the videos on social. So
yeah,
stay on the lookout and enjoy some great meats with us. Maybe you get a little inspiration. And if you guys got tips and tricks, send them our way.
please.
We're not experts in smoking. I mean, I'm not at all. I've never smoked, but Matt's been the guy over here. He says he means him, has been smoking all of this.
But I'm not an expert as well. I'm not raising my hand saying I am. I'm learning with you guys. If you want to follow along. But this is definitely a new hobby for me, and I'm excited about it.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to try some wings, and I'm excited to eat the rest of this brisket you gave me. So
yeah, well, if you break keto, I got more. I got more flavors that are available.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'll keep you posted there. But yeah, I think we're ready for what are going to be my favorite segments of the week. We're going to talk a little fly fishing.
Let's do it.
This is something Matt's coming into blind. I kind of set this up for us. This is going to be the agree or disagree segment of the pod, where I read statements that are fly fishing specific, may or may not be somewhat controversial, and me and Matt are both just going to give one-word answers, agree or disagree with that statement. If there's anything that we're on the fence about after, we may chalk it up and talk about those couple and why we're maybe leaning one way slightly more than the other. But I need no explanation from you. I'll try my best to agree or disagree, and you guys can tell us if you agree or disagree as well.
Yeah, as long as we can come back and explain a little bit of those middle ground ones, I'm ready for it.
And don't think too much. I want to just be top of mind, whatever comes to you first,
Okay.
whether you like the take or disagree with it.
All right.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First is if you're not matching the hatch, you're just getting lucky. So if you're not putting on flies that are matching what is hatching in the river, you're just getting lucky.
I agree.
I disagree. Interesting. Second, indicator fishing is just fancy bobber fishing. So nymphing is just fancy bobber fishing.
No, I disagree.
I agree. Wow. Already disagreeing on
One word. You're getting one word from me.
streamer fishing is the most exciting way to catch trout.
Ooh. I'm going to go agree.
I'm going to go agree as well.
Okay.
Fishing pressure has permanently changed how trout behave on popular Colorado rivers.
Sorry, fishing pressure. Can you?
Yeah, fishing pressure meaning more people fishing, crowded banks, combat fishing is like we like to call it, where there's, when we go out fishing and you see
Tons of people.
tons of people on the
So
river.
repeat the statement.
Fishing pressure has permanently changed how trout behave on popular Colorado rivers.
Yeah, I think I agree.
I agree as well. A 20-inch brown is more impressive than a 24-inch rainbow.
Just in general, or is there like a where?
No location, specific.
I disagree.
I agree. Wow. Social media has made fly fishing worse, not better.
No, I disagree.
I want to say I disagree too.
Yeah.
That might be one I come back to.
Okay.
The South Platte River is more technical than it is fun.
Ooh. I disagree. I have a great time.
I disagree as well. If you know us, we get into them. I'll save my comments for the end here. Next statement. Guides catching fish for clients has gone too far. Meaning you're seeing it too often, or guides are taking advantage of themselves fishing on a guided trip.
I'll go agree just because I don't like to see that.
But do you think it's happening is more what I'm saying.
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I'll agree. I think guides shouldn't fish.
It's not whether they should or shouldn't. It's that it's happening. Do you agree or disagree that it is happening? That guides fish themselves too much on a guided trip, or catch a fish for their client too much on a guided trip? It's not whether you agree or agree with it happening. It's whether you think
it's happening.
You notice
much.
it. See
then
it.
I guess I disagree. I don't know. I in my experience on guided trips, they would let me fish and would help me. But I've only been on one guided trip, so
yeah,
I don't know. I'll disagree, but you can correct me there.
No, I disagree as well.
Okay.
I got a bunch of guide buddies, and they let their clients
like the
day.
way that I envision it is the guide's like not even in the water sometimes. They're like, throw it there, throw it there, throw it there.
Absolutely.
Okay, we can keep going.
Keep going. Stalking fish has hurt Colorado fly fishing more than it's helped.
I disagree.
I disagree as well. No matter the technique, the first cast matters the most.
I disagree.
I agree. Whether that's streamer fishing, dry fly fishing, or nymphing, I agree that the first cast is the most important.
You'll probably be able to convince me on that one. You can move on. I think I misunderstood at first.
Fair enough. You learn more from getting skunked than you do catching fish.
Oh, I agree with that.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, hard lessons, man.
And last question. You shouldn't leave fish to find fish.
I agree.
I agree as well.
All right.
Okay, well, go ahead. Look at your notes now so you know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Any of these that were hard to answer, dude?
Well, I think we should
get into a little
yeah,
bit
I think
more
we
about.
should talk a couple like if you're not matching the hatch, you're just getting lucky. I agreed and you disagreed right away.
I think it's less about the bug that you have on your line. It's more about the presentation of that bug, the spacing of those bugs, the depth of those bugs, like how much weight you have on, how good of a drift you have, a drag-free drift or a, not being over-mending the line.
I see what you're saying. I just have been in situations where we were throwing something. I think it was on the blue. We were throwing something. I know fish are dumb. Like fish are stupid animals. They're not smart. They'll see their buddy get caught, released, and they'll go after the same thing right away. I know they're dumb, but on that experience with the blue, we were throwing the wrong stuff and we didn't get anything. They were frenzying around us.
I will say this: we fish a lot of tailwaters, and on a lot of tailwaters, you see very similarly the same types of flies or bug life hatching year round. And that may change very slightly season to season, but a lot of the bugs that are in there are always in there. So I don't hate your take because a lot of your experience, at least with me out there, has been on tailwaters where you do need to have somewhat of a specific fly. But I think it can be interchangeable with things that look close to it. I don't think it's one or two fly specific.
Okay.
And that being said, I think going back to your fish is dumb statement, if a hungry fish is hungry and looking for food and you're throwing something buggy and it's in the right water column, right depth, moving in the water the right way.
Still have a chance for it.
Exactly. Still have a chance for it.
All right. Fair enough. What about this indication fishing?
Indicator, yeah. I typed the note wrong.
No, you're good. Indicator fishing, just being fancy bobber fishing. So I said I disagree because I think there's some skill to fly fishing. There's that finesse.
Right.
Where you're just a bobber fish, you throw it out there, you just let it sit.
True.
I know you're kind of letting it just like go down the river. But
yeah, and that's where I'm coming from. I mean, back to what I was saying about fly spacing and the right weight and, the right drift. I think those are all important, but I think there's probably a little bit less technique involved than, at least compared to dry fly fishing and streamer fishing, which I think the right technique makes a huge difference. Where nymphing, we've dangled lines off the back of the boat, rod down, not paying attention, and we hook up.
Yeah, true.
We call this catching them on the dangle, where we'll let a drift go, and it's at the end of the drift, and it's just dangling in the bottom of the water, at the bottom of the river, at the very end of your drift. You're not paying attention. You're in between that drift and making your next cast, and a fish will come up and smack it.
That's true. That's true.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So I will say there is a little bit more advanced than bobber fishing, but to a certain point, I think it's the easiest out of all the
And
techniques.
the way you worded it was fancy bobber fishing, so it is kind of like fancy bobber fishing.
I baited you a little bit.
You
for
did.
Sure.
That's all right. That's all right. And we can kind of move past this because we both agreed on this one. But I do love nymphing. Like nymphing will always hold a special place in my heart because that's how you taught me how to fish.
Right.
That's the first
and that's how most
right?
guides fish with their client.
Yeah.
Going back to it being
2 to 3 fly.
Yeah.
Rig, whatever it is. But I will say streamer fishing is the most fun.
It's so much fun.
Like,
and I think it's a close, first to dry fly fishing. I think they're both comparable. Like
I've done dry ones, but
chaos breaks the mundaneness of the moment,
river,
right?
You see it come up.
But I think when you're dry fly fishing, you're like, you get a good cast, you're expecting something to hit.
Well, I think you're so involved. You're like tossing it out there. You're watching that thing. You're trying to make it look as natural.
You're talking about streamer fishing?
Streamer fishing, yeah. Did I say something wrong?
No, you did. I just, could have applied either way.
But streamer fishing, you're so involved. You toss it out there. You're making it look natural. You're trying to like bait the fish. And you can see them chase it.
With a dry fly, I think you can kind of anticipate a hit. Whereas streamer fishing, you never know, and it's just a feel.
Just boom.
You might see the fish flash, or you might see the take, but still, it's complete randomness.
Yeah. So we can move past that. We agreed on it. I am curious about your 20-inch brown versus 24 rainbow.
I think 20-inch browns are harder to come by. I think a 24-inch rainbow is just more common out there with like how much stocking there is, all the different hybrids of rainbow, steelhead, Donaldson. Cut bow. I think when fish get stocked, they get stocked bigger on the rainbow side, and I just think a brown's more impressive. I like browns more than rainbows in general, so I'm probably a little bit biased.
It sounds a little biased, which is fine, totally fine to be biased.
I will say, me and all my guide buddies and everybody else, I think the majority would
say that,
would sway
because my answer was strictly like size. Like I'd rather the bigger fish.
Yeah. And I mean, nothing wrong with a 24-inch rainbow. I'm not knocking that whatsoever. But if I had to pick the last fish of my lifetime before I croak, I'll take a 20-inch butter brown. Nice colored up, fall colors looking like a pumpkin. That big kipey jaw that browns get more than rainbows do to some degree, that big kipe hooked jaw, right? There's something about it that really tickles my peach.
Fair enough. A little biased, but that's all right. That's okay. Social media, I mean, we have to agree on this one, or we have to disagree on this one. Social media has made it worse. Like we disagreed. We should disagree. Both of us should disagree. We put out some sick videos. Of fishing, and we're trying to get the younger generation to get excited about fishing,
and we're trying to do it in a different way too.
Right.
Like we're not the old timer, slow, methodical all the time. You're wearing the old school vest, and it's like it comes across as boring to somebody outside of the field.
We're
running gun, shotgun, and beers.
Yeah, river shoes and shorts.
I think we portray a very exciting form of fly fishing.
Yeah,
my hesitation there was that there are a lot of up-and-comer new fly fishermen, people that have been fishing for a year, and they think they're hot shit on Instagram, and they're trying to make posts and stuff, declaring the best way to do something where, you know what I mean? And some of that rubs me the wrong way. I try not to be a hater online.
So you're talking more that type of social media, which I agree with you there.
It's just growing so fast that you get a bunch of people who aren't that experienced in the industry. And, they're a little bit cringy. They rub me the wrong way. But I have been a fly fishing influencer myself, so by nature I can't disagree.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And I think the way that we do it is the most fun and exciting way. Like, let's get 3 boats down the river. Let's all, like you said, bring some coolers, drink some beers. Like, it's all about community, camaraderie.
It's about having fun, like
having
you said.
fun.
And I have that rule with Angie, my fiance, that it's like, we only do this while we're having fun. The second we stop having fun,
let's go home.
Let's go do something else. Let's wrap it up. If fish aren't biting, if it's a tough day, if weather sucks. I used to be, the young kid that would grind it out in any circumstance, situation, weather, whatever, and need to go home with that fish. But now it's like, dude, why struggle out there and make it unenjoyable?
No, it's all about having fun. And I'm all about trying to empower and encourage people to start new things, new hobbies. What I'm doing with smoking meats, right? Like same same thing. It's doing something that challenges you, doing something that grows your skills, your skill tool belt.
Oh yeah.
But also something that lets you the main reason I love fishing is I can completely detach from the entire world while I'm on the river. Disconnect, just completely, just all I'm thinking about is the cast and the fish. And all of a sudden 2 hours go by and
90% of the places we fish don't have self-service.
Mm-hmm.
You're with the people that you're with for that day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you're either strengthening bonds with those friends or you're making new friends with, whoever brings whoever else along. And
yeah, especially if you find yourself in your head a lot, right? Like you feel anxious or you're going through something in life.
It's a great distraction, a healthy distraction.
That's when I met you and we started fishing together. Is I was going through a life-altering event, and that let me literally have peace.
Yeah.
For a half of a day.
Oh yeah.
Let me think about fishing.
And it goes back to I steal this from Steve Ranella, but that type 2 fun where you have easy days sometimes, but sometimes it's a hard day. You're up early, you're on the river all day, whether it's in the middle of the winter and you're freezing cold or it's the summer and you've been, sweating your balls off all day. It's a hard day. It's one of those days where when you get home and you're sitting on the couch or you're sitting around a campfire and you're having a beer, like you feel so good about the day that you had.
Yeah, you did something hard and now you can enjoy the recovery.
Similar to like backpacking or skiing and snowboarding, hiking, like you go out and you push yourself a bit. You'd stay out there a little longer than you want because days drag on and, you don't want to be the party pooper of the group or whatever it may be. But the chill after that is like so much more fun, so much more enjoyable just to hang out.
100% agree, which does lead me to another thing, which we're going to keep talking about it, but getting skunked, which for those not understanding what we're talking about means not catching any fish.
Right.
Gives you or teaches you more than having a great day on the river. That's 100% true. I went through a 6-month skunk phase where we went out probably like every other weekend, and I didn't catch a fish for like 5 or 6 months. And I was learning. Like this was back when I first started, and I was starting to get a little frustrated. Yep. Not gonna lie, like that frustration feeling is real.
Every time we went out, you're like, I need to catch a fish.
I need to catch a fucking fish. But I learned every time, and then once I figured out a good, I guess, method or whatever it was, whenever I got off the schneid a little bit,
and it was
so rewarding.
And it was so rewarding. Naturally better than others. I think that 6-month stint was like through the dead of winter where fish are more lethargic. And
it was my first year too.
Yeah.
But just know that happens, right? Like if you're getting out there, you're like, I think I want to pick up fishing. If you get out there and you catch 2-3 fish the first time, and then the next time you're like, oh, I'm so excited, and you catch 0, go back out the third time. Go back out the fourth time. It's still a day on the river, whether you catch fish or not, is a better day than not being on the river.
Better day than in the office, right? That's how
better
the
than in
saying
the
goes.
office.
Bad day fishing is better than a good day at work.
Yeah,
which I always stand by. And to the getting skunked teaching you more than catching fish does. If you're fishing the same spot, same river, even same state over and over again, you know what's working. You know what's hatching. You've caught fish on those flies before, using that same technique before, and it's easier. You know what I mean? You have the proof of concept. Like, okay, I caught a fish on this rig last time. It should work this time if I'm in a relatively similar season, day, weather, whatever.
Sometimes we don't even take the rig off. We'll just go to sleep, keep the rig on, wake back up.
I'm so lazy when it comes to that. If it was hitting the day before and I didn't break off, I'm leaving it on for the next day.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something to learn about what doesn't work in particular moments, what to avoid. And I think it's great to be experimental and learn that. You know what I mean? Because in that experimental stage, you might find something that also slaps.
Exactly. Try something new.
If fly fishing has been around for a long time, but the progression of the technique, the flies, like presentation, fly patterns, it's all we're just barely scratching the surface here. We're at the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And there's so much to uncover, and
And it goes back to what you were saying, how the hobby or the sport is blowing up so much because people our age, my age, I'm 33. They're starting to get old enough to the point where they're like, I need another hobby. Like, I can't just go golfing.
Right.
Golfing is a very big hobby for my friends, but they're like, I need something else. So we're seeing a ton of young folks start like, let's buy a rod and let's just go out there.
And this is a biased take, but I think being, good at fishing is pretty damn swaggy.
I do too.
I think being good at anything is pretty swaggy, but if that goes back to like that primal survivalist.
100%.
Like you could go out there and catch fish and feed yourself, whatever,
feed your family.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
If we were in a village, I'd be able to provide fish for the whole village today.
Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly. So. Well, I have one more before we move on.
Okay.
No matter the technique, the first cast matters the most.
Absolutely.
So
that's a hard yes for me.
I think I misunderstood you.
What did you interpret that as?
My interpretation was the first cast of the day, which means
the day. You're saying.
Like, okay, I had a bad first cast, but like I'm gonna get back into it because I have good technique. I think what you're trying to say is you hit another spot,
right?
And that first cast is
right.
the most important.
No, these questions were vague, so that's part of the fun of this is answering based on how you interpret the question. But that is how I meant it. It's like first cast at that new spot. You try to be as stealthy and as sneaky as you can approaching the water and making that first cast as perfect as you can before the fish notice that you're there or they've seen the same flies drift down the river 10, 15, 20 times. I do think that first cast is utterly important.
So I changed my answer. I agree with that statement.
Absolutely. And I think it's important with a nymph rig. I think it's even more important with a dry fly rig and a streamer rig. I think, especially with a streamer, if they see it and don't like it, move on. If they're with a streamer, it's all, it's instinctual strikes a lot of the time.
If they don't hit it the first or second time, like move up 5 feet.
And that's
the same thing.
And that's why people predominantly streamer fish on float trips, because you're covering new water
continuously
every
moving.
second. So you're
Makes
constantly getting that first look every cast.
Yeah, makes sense.
Want to move on to the next and last segment of the day?
Yeah, let's do it.
And we're going to have Matt blind rank some fly fishing scenarios here. So I'm going to give him 5 scenarios that are relative to fly fishing, or at least what we do outside in our outdoorsmanship, and he's going to blind rank them 1 through 5. And doesn't know, he hasn't seen this list.
Not even on my notes here.
I've seen this list, and I concocted these for Matt, so I want to get his opinion on these.
Go ahead.
Okay. Catching a fish on your first cast of the day.
Oh, you're starting with a good one.
Yeah. Like, how good would it feel? And you have no idea what's coming after this.
I know. I want to kind of go.
How good would it feel to catch a fish on the first cast of the day? For the record, that's only happened to me 3 times in my decade plus of fly fishing. This is no bullshit, no faking it, no first 5 minutes. The very first cast of the day, you catch a fish.
So this is a top 2 for me. I'm debating between 1 and 2. This has never happened to me. I think I have gotten like a top 5 cast, like first 5 cast. I'm going to go 2. The reason I'm going 2 is I have a feeling there may be a question or a statement here about the size of a fish. That may be number 1, but I'm gonna go 2.
These, scenarios are all across the spectrum. So
I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna save the number 1 spot, but it's definitely not 3 or below. Like that is a fantastic feeling.
Oh, it's so good.
Like you toss it.
You're dialed for the day.
You're dialed for the day. You're probably catching like 6, 7, 8 fish.
And when you're with other people, even if you're by yourself.
Oh, it's so swag.
You're like, fucking look at me.
Yeah, it's
fuck
so
you
swaggy.
guys. I'm already on.
I'm on the board.
I'm top rod, baby. I'm top rod.
I'm on the board already. So I'm gonna go 2.
Okay. Next scenario: float fishing on a summer's day with a cooler full of beer. What we do so often, almost the most common thing that we do together when we fish.
I mean, it's one of my favorite feelings in the world when we actually set sail, we actually get on the rafts, because there's a lot of prep that goes into it.
For sure.
But
I'm saying,
yeah.
Beginning of the day, rafts in the water, we're making that first turn down the river. You know, you have the full day to look
full day ahead of you, we
probably already
beer.
took a little shot or something to get the vibes right.
So because I went 2 for the first cast, like this is another. I mean, it's one of the best.
These are gonna be hard, dude. That's why
I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna save that one spot still, but I'm not gonna go 4 or 5. Like that is a fantastic feeling when you're just with your homies, like just starting the day. You know, maybe you're rowing, maybe you're fishing off the boat and your buddy's rowing, whatever it is. I'm going to go 3 just because the 2 spot's not available.
Okay. Next scenario. Sitting by the campfire with your best friends after slamming fish all day, knowing you're going to do it again tomorrow.
This is so hard. They're all good.
This is a Friday night, a Saturday night. You and your buddies just absolutely demolished them. Maybe we were on the raft. Maybe we had the cooler full of beer. We had such a great day. This is what we kind of touched to a little bit earlier, sitting around the campfire, just knowing you crushed it. You have so much to look forward to the next day. You can feel good about the day you just had. So much fun.
They're all good. Like all 3 of these are really good scenarios. This isn't a 4. Like this isn't a 5. Like this is.
Is this a 1?
I have been saving the 1, but like that feeling, I guess I just said it in the last one. You're starting the float. You have the whole day ahead of you. Like that is one of my favorite feelings. I don't think it's better than getting back after having such a successful day. You pour yourself a nice drink. You're sitting around the campfire.
Because
like,
comparatively,
let's start dinner.
You get to do it again.
And I'm exhausted. Like I'm sitting down. I'm like, all right, that was a long day. I did something hard.
Yeah.
You're like, let's start dinner. I'm starving.
Yeah.
You're getting, having a couple drinks, you're smoking a little weed,
you're
whatever you want to do.
You know what I mean? You're celebrating a good day with the anticipation that the next day is going to be just as
and
good.
You're going to go do it. I'm going to give it the 1 spot.
Nice.
I'm going to give it the 1 spot. This is a little unfair. These are all really good
That's
situations.
the point. I'm not going to throw something bad in here that's an obvious 5. We might do one next time where they're all like negative situations and you have to reverse rank the shittier experience.
That's actually a very good idea. Or give me like 10 and throw some obvious like lower ones in there.
Okay.
But all 3 of these could be ones.
Well, I wanted to make it hard for you.
I know. I'm going to give this one the 1 spot. That's such a great feeling, especially with another day of fishing on the horizon. So that's the 1. Yeah.
Okay. 2 more left. This would be the 4th.
And it's the 4 and 5 option. Like I screwed myself with 1, 2, and 3 already being down.
Okay, this is a perfect cast to a fish that you can see in the water. You're sight fishing, and it eats. It eats that perfect cast. You see a fish in the water, you're like, oh, I got to put it right in this perfect spot.
And you do.
And
then
it eats.
I'm comfortable with this being 4. The other 3 scenarios that you laid out for me were obvious top 3. I'm comfortable with this being 4. Great feeling for the record. Like obviously you did everything right. The fish, falls for it. You assuming you net it, right?
Yeah, let's say you catch the fish.
You catch the fish. Awesome feeling. I still think I'm comfortable with the 4. Nothing or not better than starting the day, not better than ending the day, and not better than the first cast.
Okay. Last option, I mean, I guess it kind of has to go 5 at this point, but exploring new water, whether that's by raft, whether that's a hike into a canyon, and having success it could be a new state, right?
Yeah.
Could be you have no idea what's hitting, what flies are working, and you're going in there blind. And then you have a great, successful day, and you have that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, I'm good with 5 on that one. Again, the first 3 that you started were such bangers that those were the obvious 1, 2, 3. I'm actually kind of happy with how the 1, 2, 3 turned out.
Would you change any of those top 3?
So I had the perfect. I had the cast as number 2.
Yeah, no, catching a fish on your first
cast is number 2.
You had sitting by a campfire after a day of fishing, number 1, and then you had being on the raft with a cooler full of beer is number 3.
So I've never experienced the first cast, catching a fish on the first cast. I've never had that experience.
But that may or may not be meaningful here, because anticipating it or looking forward to that moment may be just as exciting.
True. I think I'm not going to change number 1. End of the day.
Would you maybe change 2 and 3?
That's the only one I would think about changing is 2 and 3, because I have had many times the experience of, hey, we're going, and we have the whole day ahead of us, and you're with your homies, and you're a shot deep, and you have a beer in the cooler.
How giddy are we when we're about to launch?
So
dude?
giddy.
We're so giddy.
Well, and then we're on the river, and you guys got music playing, and then we're just like kind of dance. Because I'm in a different I'm in a different boat typically, because I have my own boat. He has his boat. Like we're like dancing, we're having a great time. Like the vibes are super high. So yeah, I think I'd think about changing 2 or 3. 2 and 3.
It would be hard for me to pick between sitting by the campfire after a great day with another one on the horizon and being in the moment of the great day, that being on the raft with the cooler and the beer.
Yeah.
They're equivalent to me. They're almost one and the same.
Yeah.
But there's no day that I look forward to more than a float with the friends. The more homies, the better. The more rafts, the better. A good day of fishing. We're all laughing, pulling over, stopping, swimming, drinking, fishing, eating lunch on the side of the river.
And to set the stage, like we have an arsenal down this river. Like we have probably like 3 or 4 boats.
We have 3 boats a lot of the time.
And a
kayak or 2, a
kayak.
paddleboard sometimes if we have homies that aren't really fishing but just coming along for the day.
Yeah, which is like 12 people. Like his boat is 3, mine's 2. There's another one that's 2. Yeah. Kayak's 1, obviously, but like it's a party on the river.
Yeah, we make a day about it, and I definitely don't think that the numbers there, the volume of the people, make a difference on the fish that we catch.
Nah. So I think my final is going to be end of the day, sitting around the campfire after slapping.
Yep, that's part of it.
And all the homies are still there.
Yep.
Like no one goes home, everyone's staying in the cabin.
We're telling stories of the day.
We're telling stories.
You know what I mean?
We're laughing.
Oh, I remember when you broke off that fish? That was such a tank. Like I love.
Or he fell out of the boat. Or
exactly. I lost my rod. I got water down the waders.
Didn't you throw a snake in Angie's boat once?
Oh, that will be a good story for maybe the next pod. Yeah, there was a bull snake coming across the river, and I threw it in my fiance's kayak. That's a story for the next But pod.
Like we're talking about those stories. We have a drink in our hand,
sharing all the photos.
We have food on the grill, like.
Nothing better than the sharing photos and videos.
Sharing the photos,
just
doing a post if we want to do a post.
Oh, you might have me there. You might have me as that number 1.
And then number 2, I am going to switch it. It's going to be right at the beginning of the day. We just set sail. Again, we had a shot. We got a beer in the holder. I'm paddling along. I'm letting somebody else fish off the back, and then I am looking forward to that first cast catch. I just haven't experienced that yet, so I don't really know that feeling.
Yeah. I got you. Again, I've been fly fishing for a very long time, and that's only happened to me 3 times. So, and it's always a surprise when it happens. You're like, oh fuck, no way!
It's gonna be a great day.
You're like, no way. I'm already on the board. So
yeah.
Well,
that's my final.
I think you have a great ranking there. I think you have a great setup.
Cool. No, that's a good segment. That was fun. We should do that again. I think the sketchy situations are a good
negative
somewhat
reverse
negative
picks.
Yeah, because
would you rather break off on this big a fish, or you know what I mean?
Or
flip a boat,
or your boot breaks and you keep slipping and you have to you get water in your waders or whatever.
No, I'll come up with a reverse list for next time, or maybe you can read one to me or something like that.
Yeah, maybe we switch it up.
So
but no, I liked that segment a lot. That was fun. And it really makes me want to get up to Deckers.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have such a fun summer. We've been saying this. The water's low. I pray that there's enough to flow at least a few times. I don't think it's gonna be the summers we've had in the past. And you're always gonna have high water summers. You're gonna have low water summers. They're gonna come and go.
We literally have had 2 snowstorms here in Colorado this entire winter. So there's no rundown.
And storms are almost exaggerating. Like it has snowed 2 times this winter. I wouldn't even call them huge storms.
No, it's literally just snow.
So
yeah.
Well, I think that wraps up today.
No, this was a great episode. That was a lot of fun talking fly fishing.
Right?
Again, before we sign off, keep an eye out for Kush Cooks. Keep an eye out for meat of the week.
Yep.
Brisket coming at you soon. And yeah, hey, grab some wings. And try smoking some wings with me this week.
Yeah, and as much as you hear it from everybody, share this if you enjoyed it to anybody. I think word of mouth is probably the biggest value to us right now. If you enjoyed the pod, share it with a friend and follow us on socials. You can find us at Parlays and Paddles on almost everything. And you can follow Matty on the real Matty Kush.
Just real Matty Kush.
The real Matty Kush, and you can follow me Nymphing on Instagram, TikTok.
Enjoy the Final Four. Enjoy the national championship. This is a fun time of year. I'm exhausted. I'm kind of excited for it to be over personally.
Do more of that fishing stuff.
And do some more outdoorsy things.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.